done this. So I'm hoping... Okay, everyone, good luck. Let's have some fun on the dam.
Let's get it on.
And so I'm hoping that it will clear up a bit of things. Like I said, this is a work in progress. It's going to be very much, adapt or die. And so I'm thinking that having a roster set up for 1 hour blocks will be a lot better. That way people don't have to wait around, because I do know that it takes a little bit of time, because sometimes people leave the game. They're obviously not going to just have the game open in the background waiting for their turn. And so I'm hoping that happens. With that being the case, though, I'm going to have people sign up a lot earlier, because right now it's basically everyone's in the chat room, and I basically invite people as the show goes on, but I'm hoping to get to the point where it gets popular enough that I can just populate it with people preemptively instead of just on the spot. So I stream. It kind of depends. When I stream, I usually stream from 7:30 to oh crap. You know what? Let me tuck my son in. Let me go ahead and tuck in my son real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay.
Holy crap, you're angry.
Oh, and I'm just in time. Kyra, Bucket, Torvald, Griffin, and... I'm not supposed to say that because... Okay, and Wraith. All 9 in abduction.
How far you can abduct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Any objection?
Yes, I'd like to monitor because I think there was a bit too much eaten the other day.
Whatever.
It's pretty low.
We've had it for a week.
It's pretty low.
We've had it for a week.
Later. Okay. So I'm hoping that I'll have enough people, but I think an hour would be good, because that way you have the same team, so you can kind of develop more teamwork instead of just being paired randomly with people. So hopefully that gives a little bit more time between everything. What?
I don't know. He just said woohoo.
Okay.
Tell me primates to violate some more.
Okay, so I kind of like this, but it is a little close for my taste, because I feel that somebody could see that corpse right off the bat. A lot of people don't realize that okay, just barely, that there's a hole here, and you can get carrion birds if you eat too close in here. So we'll see what happens. So it looks like points into abduct. Let's see what kind of split they got. So hopefully we'll see some Griffin, put some spikes there, and there. Just kind of cut the middle up all really nice. Okay, so let's see what Bucket's head. So Bucket might see some corpses. So Bucket should be seeing corpses. So interesting split, 3 and 1. I guess that's kind of just an inevitability with this group. I'm not sure what the abduct. You probably could have just pounced it or just meleeed it. So Bucket should be seeing her right now. Very good. Got the tag off. Let's see if the... So it looks like the Dune Beetle's getting feisty, but not it. Oh, is that a dome? That will be a dome. Good job. Okay, so really interesting pillar for them to fight around. Oh, this could be very, very bad. So the nice thing is that if they don't see any other abilities, oh, that Dune Beetle. That was a very interesting warp blast. So really good job using this pillar, using line of sight. I'd love to see Bucket just putting turrets all around this thing and they just running around in circles. Ooh, Zalzin is probably going to go down. Where's that cloak? Oh, nope. Would have liked to have seen that cloak. So a free down with no permanent health damage done so far. And it looks like that this goes all the way around. So they're not going to probably do any more damage on her. She'll probably just be able to break out as soon as the dome is down. Okay, so no permanent damage. That was a really strong engage for the Wraith. I felt like the Bucket probably would have come in and cloak Kyra. I also would have liked to have seen all those turrets around that pillar, and that would be basically what I would call your base of operations. So whenever you have a Bucket in a team, or anyone with traps in general, you always just want to have a base of operations, basically a fallback spot. And in that place, it would have been that pillar, so that Kyra could have just run around in circles, healing herself. She probably could heal other people, and then you're always being covered by those turrets as much as possible. So he's going to the monster evolve spot, which is always going to be up here. I feel that this is where monsters evolve probably 80% of the time. Is either right behind this thing or right here. So they might... Nope, they probably won't dome her in time. Torvald might be able to get a mortar off. Ooh. Nope. So 3 warp, 3 abducts. Pretty typical standard build now. So even without armor, she's just going to do so much damage. So Hydra is pretty much going to die because I don't think Kyra is going to get to her in time. It was weird the way that they split this time. Yeah, I feel like she probably can go kill this guy now. Yeah, let's keep on him. Oh, the duck missed. So there should be a warp blast coming up pretty soon. So as long as they keep pressure on her, they still haven't done any permanent damage. Okay, so where's those turrets being set up? I'd like to see a bit more turrets. I'm not sure what Portky's doing. He's just kind of hanging back. He should be setting up that base of operations. Yep, and there you go. So that's the big thing with Wraith, is Wraith has a lot of burst, and so you really need to fight near those turrets. So you're going to get downs against her, and so the big goal is just to punish as possible. And so right now there should be turrets going down all over this body, and then Kyra just doing exactly that. Keep healing. Really, really good. Really good. Oh, except for Trapper. Yeah, now Trapper's going to go down. Dome's going to go down, and she gets out. No damage taken, and 2 more strikes. Like I feel like they really need to work on those that quote-unquote base of operations. Okay, so the chase is afoot. So really, really strong play from the striker. The nice thing is, though, is like this is a really hard relay for Wraith. So even if they need a fallback, having Bucket and Torvald isn't necessarily a bad thing. Griffin's not spectacular in a stage 3 fight, to be honest. He's kind of a stage 1, stage 2-er, just like Val is. But Kyra, Bucket, and Torvald are pretty decent at stage 3s. So right now, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like she's taking optimal paths. I think she's trying to just abduct somebody. Yeah, I think she's waiting for an abduct. Oh, there comes the dome, and that's going to be... Oh, he's dead. Yep. Not sure why you would lead with the Trapper. You always want to push the monster towards the Trapper and not the other way around. So now two downs on the Trapper, and the dome is on cooldown, which means that it's going to be very, very easy for the monster to get out whenever she wants. So good. So they're doing decent punishment. They just need to be they need to be a lot more consistent with that, I feel. Because otherwise Wraith is just going to do this all day long. Abduct, Warp Blast, kill, over and over, and they need to change up their gameplay. Really have that punishing area, and Warp Blast, and he's dead. whenever you get abducted, you need to immediately jetpack dodge upwards twice to avoid that warp blast and or melee hit. Otherwise, you're just going to get pegged every single time. And that was a rough warp blast. They hit everybody. So right now, it's pretty much GG. Wraith is just kind of cleaning up at this point. Hasn't really taken any major damage. Hadrosaur is probably going to pick up the... Oh. Yeah. Yep. It's pretty much GG. So, just cleaning up now. Doing some juggling. Here's what Wraith does. I'm telling you, those nomads, they are the true assholes of Shear. Okay, so he's just feeding up, so now he's probably going to go back and try looking for the other person. So, go back to the scene of the crime, look for footprints. Not good for footprints. It'd be interesting. He might be evolving. I feel that evolving is actually bad because right now the hunters are always out of position, and I don't feel that the extra strength that you get at stage 3 is ever worth going for a power relay. I feel like a stage 3 as a Wraith is only usually done when the hunters go to the relay and stop following you, because she's truly, I think she's stronger at stage 2 than she is at 3. Regardless of the build. So now Zalzin just needs to hold out for 45 seconds. Also, Stryker probably could have realized that Kyra is the only person left, so he could have gone after the relay, because there's no way that Kyra will keep you off, and if she does, it'll just expose herself. Like, there was, like, even with 0 armor, I would have ran up there. There's a couple of corpses up there that you can eat, and everyone's on so few strikes that even if you had no armor, you're not in a position of being worried. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so they have 10 seconds. So they'll probably drop before the power relay gets hit. I don't think Kyra even needs to engage the monster at the relay. I think that they'll drop right... Well, it depends on where the ship is getting dropped. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's terrible. So that's GG. Really bad spawn location for the hunters. I feel like that if Kyra was a little bit closer to here, it might have dropped here instead of back there, but... Yeah, Kyra's not going to be able to keep him off no matter what. So she can die, but then they have no medic. So unfortunate location. But yeah, that's it. GG.
Yeah, it can smell right.
That was a rough relay, just because the hunters were like way in a bad spawn location. Like, I feel like you probably could have done it if you spawned in the river instead of just like in the middle of no man's land. So a couple of things. I'd like to see it now. I mean, since we're going to be playing with Bucket pretty consistently tonight, I feel like I was talking to my stream about this. It's basically a term I call base of operations. Whenever you have trap characters, people like Maggie, Markov, Bucket, etc., I feel like you need to have some sort of a base of operations. As soon as a dome goes down, you need to find out quickly where you want that base of operations to go. So, for instance, in that first dome, if you put all 5 turrets around that big pillar in the middle, and then you just kept rotating people and circling through, the assault putting pressure on there, I feel like that the Wraith would have had to have abandoned there. And so that what you can do is you can have the assault and flush it out, especially with Kyra, because Kyra can heal through walls and through a very far distance. So you could just basically stay relatively close to that and then just collapse back on that base of operations over and over again. Especially when you when she only had 3 points into abduct at the beginning. So once it went, well, the abduct was all it had, so it didn't have any good damage dealers to begin with. It just had juggling. So I felt like you probably could have been a little bit more aggressive with that. That being the case, it was just a bad time. I feel like the trapper was a little ahead of the group. So like when you came out of the caves and you just got hit by the nomad, which was very, very unfortunate. But the Wraith would have picked you off anyway, just because you were at the front. There was no medic behind you or the support, so you were just going to die instantly, and the nomad just happened to help that process. So I would probably work on positioning and just more focusing on that base of operations again. Always try, as soon as the dome goes down, it shouldn't be more than a few seconds. Somebody just, take the reins, call it out, and pick a spot of where this is where we make our stand, and then you kind of just slowly encroach. So if you notice that the monster only has a certain skill, like Abduct, which isn't a high damage dealer, it's just a juggler, you can be a lot more aggressive. But until you find that out, always have that base of operations. So if the monster does engage you, you'll be trading a lot of damage potential. Even if somebody gets down, they have to go into that nest and take all that damage, especially from Bucket's turrets. That being the case, one thing about Striker, I do notice that you were abducting into an area where you wouldn't get carrion birds, which was awesome, but I'm curious on why you did it so close to the spawn, because I feel like that sending the assault and medic down that alleyway right at the beginning is a very popular tactic for hunters, and I feel like that they would have seen your corpses and your sneakiness wouldn't have paid off. However, if you went a little bit further down there and then started abducting, because so if you keep going on that left-hand side across from the Megamouth, kind of like where there's that little building. It's hard to explain, but I feel like if you went further down that tunnel and then abducted in there, they wouldn't have seen those corpses because that's not a very popular foot traffic.
Right, sounds good.
Okay, that being the case, let's go ahead and back out. If there's anybody that has time constraints, let me